Chosen ones, there are moments in life when everything you've endured begins to make sense, but not in the way you expected. Not as a simple reward, not as an easy victory, but as a transformation so deep that it changes how you see yourself and the world around you. You were never just going through challenges. You were being prepared for something that requires more than talent, more than effort. It requires strength that is built in silence. Right now, something is shifting in your life. Not gradually, not predictably, but powerfully. The struggles you faced were not random. The delays you questioned were not meaningless. Every obstacle, every setback, every moment you felt pushed to your limit was shaping you into someone capable of holding a level of power you've never experienced before. This kind of power is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't seek validation. It moves quietly, but when it acts, everything changes. You may have felt overlooked. You may have felt like your efforts were unseen, like your patience was unnoticed. But what you couldn't see was how everything was aligning behind the scenes. The strength you built when no one was watching, the discipline you maintained when it was hardest, the faith you held on to when nothing made sense, those were not small things. They were the foundation. And now, that foundation is being activated. This is not about becoming someone else. This is about becoming who you were always meant to be, without limitation, without hesitation, without fear holding you back. The power you are stepping into is not just for you, it is meant to influence, to create, to shift the environment around you. But understand this clearly. With greater power comes greater responsibility. You cannot carry this next level with the same mindset, the same habits, or the same doubts. You are being called to think differently, act differently, and move with intention. This is not a moment for distraction. This is a moment for clarity. Not everyone will understand what is happening to you. Some may question it, others may not recognize it at all. But that does not change the reality of what is unfolding. What is being placed in your hands is rare, and it requires focus to sustain. You are no longer operating on the level you once were. The limits that once defined you are being removed. The fears that once controlled you are losing their power. You are stepping into a space where your actions carry more weight, your decisions carry more impact, and your presence carries more influence. This is the reward, but it does not come in the form of ease. It comes in the form of capacity. The ability to handle more, to see more, to do more. The ability to rise above what once held you down. So stay grounded, stay disciplined, stay aware. Because what you are receiving is not ordinary. It is something that has been built through every moment you refused to give up, every time you chose to keep going when it would have been easier to stop. This is your turning point. And the power you are stepping into has never been this strong in your life before. Preparation determines the level of power you can hold. True strength is developed through challenges, discipline, and patience, ensuring you are ready to handle greater responsibility when it arrives. Power without purpose leads to misdirection. Having influence or ability is not enough. It must be guided by clear intention and meaningful purpose to create lasting impact. Inner transformation comes before external elevation. Real growth begins within your mindset. Habits and beliefs must evolve before visible success and higher opportunities appear. Faith expands capacity beyond limitations. Belief in a greater process allows you to move beyond fear and doubt, unlocking potential that effort alone cannot achieve. There is a direct connection between what you go through and what you are able to handle. Strength is not something that appears suddenly. When opportunity arrives, it is built gradually through experience, pressure, and persistence. Every challenge you face is adding capacity to your ability to carry more responsibility, make better decisions, and remain steady when situations become difficult. What may feel like struggle in the moment is often preparation for something greater than you can currently see. When life places you in demanding situations, it is not simply testing you, it is training you. You learn how to stay focused when distractions increase, how to remain patient when results are delayed, and how to keep moving forward when motivation fades. These lessons are not just helpful, they are necessary. Without them, any form of success or power would be unstable, easily shaken by the first sign of difficulty. Preparation also shapes your mindset. It teaches you to think long-term instead of seeking immediate rewards. You begin to understand that not everything valuable comes quickly, and not every opportunity should be rushed. This awareness allows you to approach situations with more clarity and less emotional reaction. You become more intentional, more disciplined, and more aware of the consequences of your actions. Many people desire greater influence, success, or responsibility, but not everyone is willing to go through the process required to sustain it. Preparation ensures that when the moment arrives, you are not overwhelmed by it. Instead of reacting with uncertainty, you respond with confidence and control. In the end, what you are able to hold is determined by what you have been through. The more you grow through challenges, the more capable you become of handling what comes next. Having power or ability on its own is never enough to create meaningful results. Without a clear sense of purpose, even the greatest potential can become scattered or misused. Power gives you the capacity to act, to influence, and to create change, but purpose determines the direction in which that power is applied. Without direction, effort becomes inconsistent, decisions become reactive, and progress loses its meaning. When purpose is missing, it is easy to be distracted by short-term gains or external validation. You may start chasing recognition instead of impact, or comfort instead of growth. This often leads to actions that feel productive in the moment, but do not contribute to long-term success. Over time, this lack of clarity can create frustration because despite having the ability to do more, you may feel like you are not moving forward in a meaningful way. Purpose acts as a guide. It helps you decide what matters and what does not. It allows you to focus your energy on what aligns with your values and goals, rather than spreading yourself too thin across too many directions. When you know why you are doing something, it becomes easier to stay consistent, even when challenges arise. Your actions become more intentional, and your progress becomes more stable. It also creates responsibility. When you understand that your abilities can influence outcomes not just for yourself, but for others, you begin to act with greater awareness. You think more carefully, plan more thoughtfully, and execute with greater discipline. In the end, power without purpose can lead to confusion and wasted potential. But when both are aligned, your actions gain clarity, your efforts gain direction, and your results become far more impactful and lasting. Real transformation always begins on the inside long before it is ever seen on the outside. External success, opportunities, and recognition are often the final stage of a much deeper process that happens within your thoughts, habits, and beliefs. Before your circumstances change, your perception of yourself and your life must first evolve. This inner shift is what prepares you to sustain the changes that come later. When you go through experiences that challenge your limits, they are not only testing your endurance, but also reshaping your identity. You begin to question old patterns of thinking and start developing new ways of responding to situations. Instead of reacting out of fear or uncertainty, you slowly learn to respond with clarity and intention. This change may feel subtle at first, but over time, it becomes the foundation of your growth. Inner transformation also requires letting go of limiting beliefs. These are the thoughts that quietly influence your actions, ideas about what you can or cannot achieve, what you deserve, or how far you can go. As these beliefs are replaced with stronger, more constructive thinking, your behavior naturally begins to align with higher standards. You start expecting more from yourself, not out of pressure, but out of awareness of your potential. This internal development also strengthens discipline. You become more consistent not because everything is easy, but because your mindset is no longer controlled by temporary emotions. You begin to understand that lasting progress requires patience, focus, and persistence. In the end, what you see on the outside is always a reflection of what has changed within. When your inner world becomes stronger, your outer reality begins to follow that transformation in a natural and powerful way. When all of these ideas come together, a deeper truth becomes clear. Nothing meaningful in life is built without preparation, direction, and inner change. The strength you need is developed through experience. The impact you create is guided by purpose, and the results you achieve are shaped by the transformation that happens within you long before anything becomes visible outside. Each stage plays an essential role. Preparation ensures you are ready to carry responsibility without being overwhelmed. Purpose ensures that your energy is not wasted and your actions remain aligned with something meaningful. Inner transformation ensures that you are capable of sustaining what you are working toward rather than being limited by old thinking or emotional reactions. When even one of these elements is missing, progress can feel unstable or incomplete. But when they work together, your growth becomes steady and intentional. You stop moving randomly and start moving with clarity. You begin to understand not just what you are doing, but why you are doing it and who you are becoming in the process. In the end, true development is not just about reaching a destination. It is about becoming someone who is prepared, focused, and internally strong enough to handle what comes next. When that alignment happens, your progress is no longer accidental, it becomes the result of consistent, deliberate growth from within.